Welcome back to the MMA Explorers. Today, let's get started with Canelo responds to Ilia Topuria call-out. Canelo Álvarez addressed calls from UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like on this video to support the channel. Let's aim for 10 likes. During a press conference for his upcoming fight with Terence Crawford, when asked about the possibility of facing Topuria in a crossover boxing match, Canelo remained diplomatic but firm in his focus.
Ilia Topuria has said he respects you a lot, and he would love to fight you if he ever came into boxing. How do you see him as a boxer? And what would you think of a fight against Ilia Topuria? How would you feel?
La verdad es que nunca lo he visto pelear bien, una pelea completa, pero para mí es un honor que obviamente agarren un poco de mi boxeo. También mis respetos para todos, para todo tipo de peleador, mis respetos para todos. Y lo de la pelea, bueno, ya veremos después, ¿no? Ahora sí que primero lo primero. Le deseo lo mejor.
First of all, I've never seen him fight a full fight, like a complete fight, but I really love what, and I respect a lot, and I admire, and thank you. And I have a lot of gratitude for fighters that, you know, take a little bit of my fighting and respect it. It's awesome to see other fighters like me. But let's see, as far as the fighting against him, first things first, let's hear about it now.
Chael Sonnen downplays Jon Jones' viral takedown clip in Moscow. Chael Sonnen has shared his take on the viral clip of Jon Jones being taken down during a friendly wrestling exchange in Moscow, and he isn't impressed. The moment, posted by Red Corner MMA, showed Jones getting tripped to the mat by Alfredo, a Russian reality show figure and head of ALF, during a lighthearted grappling session. While the clip caught fire online, Sonnen wasn't buying the hype.
I would trust that this gentleman has either a sambo or a judo background, because the entry that he makes is not wrestling. It's not collegiate, freestyle, or Greco-Roman wrestling, though it's a pretty cool entry. I'm just sharing with you that I don't recognize it. That's how I know it's not from one of those three styles, but it's pretty cool. However, it is effectively and effortlessly defended by Jon. Jon not only comes out on top, and Jon not only comes out with the takedown, but even from a grappling or jiu-jitsu standpoint, MMA standpoint, Jon comes out with a rear naked choke. This could not have been better for Jon. And the headline comes out, and this is by Red Corner MMA. They're pretty good. They're pretty big. But to not know what you're looking at is a surprise to me. Whoever the editor is for this page, to not know that Jon is the one that scored the takedown. Because they even put a caption. Alfredo gave his backup shortly after. But it also says prior to that, Alfredo, ALF boss, takes Jon Jones down. That is fiction. He did not take Jon Jones down. He was taken down by Jon Jones. If you're a good analyst and you wanted to break it down, you could discuss the fact that Jon took him down defensively. You could concede that this was not Jon's action, it was Jon's counteraction. But in no form, not at Abu Dhabi, not at UFC Fight Pass, not at Polaris, not at the Olympic Games, the NCAA, or at your local high school, is this even questionable. Jon got the takedown.
Luke Rockhold challenges Mike Perry to bare-knuckle kickboxing. Former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold is back in fight mode, and he's got Mike Perry in his crosshairs again. In a fiery new interview with MMA Fighting, Rockhold issued a direct challenge to the BKFC star, but this time, he's not asking for bare-knuckle boxing.
I would do bare-knuckle kickboxing. I would fucking rematch Mike Perry and put him to sleep. I don't think he wants that, but you know, there's no way to gauge distance in bare-knuckle boxing, and they got metal ropes, so you're just bouncing in and out. Bare-knuckle kickboxing, I think there would be actually some technique to it, and I think that would be badass. That would be a real fight, and that would be fun. I'd fuck somebody up. Nah. Like bare-knuckle boxing is not a fight. I realized that watching that, I was like, I'm not losing my fucking teeth without using everything I've worked for my whole life. People are fucking dumb. That's a dumbass sport. Metal rings that you just hit and you throw you back into the brawl. There's no way to gauge that distance in it. It's like who's willing to lose their face first for fucking nothing.
TJ Dillashaw explains the science behind Merab Dvalishvili's insane cardio. Former bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw recently joined Mike Perry on the Overdogs podcast, where he broke down what makes Merab Dvalishvili such a cardio machine, and it's more than just grit.
He might be a diet genius as well.
I don't think so. I think it's genetic. So everyone's got a crossover point of when you start burning carbs. When you start burning carbs, you start producing lactic acid. So when I first met my coach, Sam Calavita, my crossover point was a heart rate of 141. Anytime my heart rate got above 141, I started burning carbs for energy. Everything before that, I was burning fat. Well, after I met Sam and I switched my diet up, I started training lactic threshold and doing the right kind of exercises to increase my heart rate. My new heart rate went to about 158. So from 141 to 158 is when I started burning carbs for energy. I increased my base from the way that I was training, the way I was eating. Now I trained my body and my mind specifically to learn how to be in that lactic threshold. Everyone's got one. Everyone's a little bit different genetically, right? So I'd be in the red zone when my heart rate got to 170 to 185. That's like my lactic threshold. And when you're getting there, you're revving the engine to where eventually you're gonna burn out. Well, I had to train that to not only make that zone larger, but also to train my mind to be able to stay in that zone and be able to deal with lactic threshold and not get tired. So you can train it, but also there's a lot of people, which I think Merab is this way, are genetically made to where they're gonna either burn carbs for energy later for the energy system, or they have a lactic threshold that's through the roof. And I think his mind, very mentally strong, he's been able to deal with being in that lactic threshold and not letting him break it.
UFC releases ranked 12 heavyweight Martin Buday despite 7-1 record. In a surprising move, the UFC has parted ways with ranked heavyweight contender Martin Buday just 5 days after his dominant victory at UFC on ABC 9. Buday, who was ranked number 12 in the official UFC heavyweight standings, defeated Marcus Buchecha in what turned out to be the final fight of his contract. Despite compiling an impressive 7-1 record inside the octagon, the UFC opted not to re-sign the 33-year-old Slovakian heavyweight. Buday confirmed the news on social media. "Yeah, it's true. Yesterday we got a call that UFC is not re-signing us for the moment. Well, it is what it is. At least I'm leaving with my head up. Thank you." The move has sparked confusion among fans and analysts, especially considering the shallow depth of the UFC heavyweight division. With contenders few and far between, many viewed Buday as a solid top 15 presence and a tough test for rising prospects. Dustin Poirier gears up for life after fighting. Less than 2 weeks removed from his retirement fight, Dustin Poirier is already mapping out his next chapter, and he's not straying far from the fight game. Poirier, a former UFC interim lightweight champion and fan favorite, revealed he's setting up new training equipment in his personal gym and is ready to get jacked now that he's officially done competing. But physical fitness isn't his only focus. He's also setting his sights on the broadcast desk. Back in April, Poirier joined Chael Sonnen as a desk analyst for ESPN's UFC 314 coverage, and the experience seems to have left a lasting impression. With the success of other fighters turned analysts like Daniel Cormier, Paul Felder, Michael Chiesa, and Alan Jouban, Poirier is looking to follow suit. Before we continue, help us reach our goal of 100 subscribers here on MMA Explorers. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our daily MMA content. Looking forward to getting back on the ESPN desk. Going to start focusing on that now, he posted on social media. Aaron Pico training with Khamzat Chimaev ahead of UFC debut. Featherweight standout Aaron Pico is taking his preparation to the next level ahead of his UFC debut, and he's doing it alongside none other than Khamzat Chimaev.
Come on, guys. That's it. Excellent, excellent. 15 seconds left. Come on. Let's get it in. Don't let Josh get to extra workout. 10. Get it in. Oh, man, don't bother. Push, guys. Push. Come on, come on, come on. Change. 10 seconds left. Come on, Eric. Come on, let's go. Get back up. Push, push, push. Push. 5 seconds. Push. Hi, change.
Let's wrap it up for the day. Thanks for watching.